Good morning, Laura and Maria. Thank you so much for being willing to serve on my interview hiring team, if you will. I've got 8 board of directors that serve together with me, and they've got various tasks. I couldn't find time for any of them to help me with this. That means they're going to get saddled with other stuff later. But I would prefer to have the two of you um, as people who will help listen and sort through who will make the very best part-time administrative assistant for us at Family Shield Ministries. The goal of this video is just to give you kind of a little perspective on what I'm after and what we're after, and we'll kind of go from there. But before I get too far, let me share my screen. First of all, Maria, this is my very good friend, Laura, and my really very good friend, her husband, Dudley. So I found the picture on Facebook since I'm Facebook friends with both of you. And Laura, this happens to be Maria and her wonderful husband, Paul. They now live, as you can see in the background, in Wisconsin, and they look like they must be Brewer fans, I guess. Anyway, I appreciate both of you and thank you so much. Now you can creep on each other if you want to, but who's to say? But I appreciate the two of you and being willing to assist out of the skills that you have. Let me share another screen with you. Just if you haven't had a chance to look, you can. And this will give me a chance to talk. Okay, did I get this correct? That's the best I can do for right now. Sorry. This is our Family Shield Ministries website, if you will. And you just scroll through the first page, you can kind of see pretty much what we're after, including a little important notice about the first one is we're looking for a part-time administrative assistant, if you will. Here's our vision and our mission, and we worked on this over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. I've been on the board for better than 6 years now. I have one more term that I can serve, and I'm up for that this next year. The whole time I've been on the board, our founding director, Kay Meyer, has been doing this Family Shield Ministry thing for 30 years. She launched it because she was on the board of directors for Lutheran Hour Ministries, and that's how I met Kay. And somehow I got drawn into assisting this with her. She grew out of this whole ministry thing, grew out of her witnessing to a next door neighbor who happened to be a Jehovah's Witness. And Kay writes a really great publication, a short booklet on Jehovah's Witnesses, and that kind of captured Kay's heart. Kay is a prolific Bible study writer and giver and speaker, and through the years has just done a wonder and then created Family Shield Ministries, if you will. She actually started 40 years ago. 30 years ago, this ministry was launched. The vision as we see it, you'll see here, in other words, why do we exist and what is our main purpose? We are Christians who care about families and the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, but the gospel is shorter. Christians who care about families and the gospel, and the purpose of us existing is to help transform lives now and for eternity. So who we are, we're Christians who care about about families and the gospel, and therefore our purpose is transforming lives now and for eternity. The key thing in understanding this is we try not to do what congregational ministries are meant to do, where we want to be a supporting ministry in that way. So what can we do that congregations and Lutheran schools can't do? That's what we really want to equip. The mission then, how do we go about that? Well, we're going to go about this by caring for families, growing in Christ. We want them to grow in Christ, and equipping them to witness to each other and to the world. Family Shield Ministries has always been more or less an evangelistic kind of enterprise, if you will, over the years, and therefore equipping them to witness to each other. How can we help congregations and schools help their families do that better? How do we do that? 3 ways: by helping families grow in Christ, by equipping families to witness for Christ, by witnessing to families who don't know Christ. I'm not going to go into more detail than that. In a sense, I don't think that we make enough of just the name of our organization, Family Shield Ministries. And that's based on Ephesians chapter 6, right? the whole armor of God motif that comes from Ephesians chapter 6. But in today's culture, uh, having something helping to shield families, and how Christ does that, and how family members can do that for each other, and how family members can help witness and rescue their family and loved ones who's starting to go and step away from the church, which for me is pretty important because I have a son now who has walked away from the church. And so one of the brand new ministries that we've acquired recently was what was called Faith Family Reunion. It's a ministry to parents whose children have walked away. We call it the witness, I don't know what we can call it, a ministry to prodigal family members who've lost children, who are prodigals, if you will. We have a radio program that goes across about 60 stations across the country, which doesn't make us very large. But then we also have a streaming podcast, and that's really where our bread and butter is going to be, if you will. So in a sense, our podcast ministry, our radio ministry is one of our foremost ministries. And then an up and coming ministry for us is ministries to families of prodigal children. Where it goes from there, we want to leave in the hands of what we believe God will bring to us is a new executive director. And once we have somebody who has a heart for family ministry, has the capacity to do it on a part-time basis to begin with, once we have them in place, then we will we'll fundraise like crazy because people will see it and they'll fill in those gaps, and then we can move that executive director probably to a full-time role, and our ministry will grow. In order for us to get there, we need to hire a part-time administrative assistant who will take care of all the office needs today, answering emails, answering snail mail, one that will deposit checks of donors that come in, will help make sure that our monthly newsletter goes out electronically, make sure that our website is always updated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that will allow our founding executive director, Kay Meyer, to actually retire. And Maria, I know you know her, and Laura, I'm not sure if you know her or not, but her health, she's about 76, 77 years old, and she's had 2 stints of cancer now, has had 3 or 4 bouts of pneumonia since about February of this year. She's on oxygen full time. And so the Lord is letting her know that it is time for her to retire. She has officially retired. As soon as we hire this part-time administrative assistant, then she will retire and we'll move from there. So I hope this has been a little bit of a help to you in understanding about what we're doing. I'm looking for someone who has the capacity to handle the office, that I don't have to micromanage, that will quickly learn these tasks, will understand today's technology needs. She can handle electronic means. She can handle a Zoom meeting. She can handle digital things, some degree of marketing. If she has it, that would be great. I don't know if they do or not, but somebody who can work with whoever we get in terms of marketing, that would be the point. So would you have listening ears for that? The last thing is I sent you what is my, let me get to this here. Sorry, share this screen. The last thing, I sent you this interview process and schedule. Here's what I'm looking at. I need to firm up the actual times for these couple that are block times include. Oh, I think they're all blocks right now. These are my questions. I just thought of 6. You might have 1 or 2 questions that you would like to ask. Email those questions back to me. I can always subtract 1 or 2 of the ones that I have here. I want really good questions. And I want these interviews to be about 20 minutes in length. All right. For your sake, for my sake, Kay has already talked to each of them. And if I need to follow up with other questions that we've noodled together and discovered, hey, you need to firm this up, make sure that Shirley or Rachel or Rainbow is able to answer this particular question. She seemed to be a little bit fuzzy on this one. Like, I can do that. So I want to expedite your time. and then for you just to kind of give me your feeling about each of the candidates and which one you might hire if you were in my position. So I'm the one who's going to make the decision on this. And so you just help me understand and help me to make the very best decision you can by giving me your input. Oh, my goodness, this has gotten too long already. Thank you so much for your attention and your help. God bless you.